All right, man, I'm just messing around here, of course. But I've got a bunch of stuff to get in today. It's Friday afternoon, technically. It feels like morning. I feel like dog shit. And I'm so sorry, man. I offended a guy on here, and he said he would really like to be treated with more respect and not have the cursing and stuff like that. And I'm going to get into a little bit of what this channel actually is for the people that don't really understand what we're doing here. And so we're not here making our living on YouTube like a lot of these guys are. And so we really don't feel the need to try to hide ourselves or do anything that's politically correct, easy for me to say, or anything like that, man. This is who we are. Me and my buddies Jed and Tom Bukovac, and man, I may boldly say we're some of the only people on here that are kind of just giving it up, man, and being like, this is who we are. We're not hiding anything. I'm not worried about losing my number one income stream is not YouTube. And so we're not worried about that shit. We want to be real, man, because those are the people that we want to hang out with. Those are the people we have always gravitated towards in our whole life, our whole lives. And so we get it, man. It's about having some character and just throwing it all out there, man. That's the fun part. So that's what we're doing on here. And so anybody that doesn't like that, there's plenty of other free channels to check out, and I encourage you to do so. Not everybody likes chocolate ice cream all the time. Okay, so hey, man, look, except me. I like chocolate ice cream almost all the time. So look, guys, here's the thing, man. Yesterday I started feeling like shit. I got some kind of bug. I got run down, wasn't taking care of myself, working too much. And then finally today I had to cancel all day today, filming with Brett, and then a session with Shannon Forrest. I had to cancel the whole thing. Canceled the whole day today, which sucks. But I had to get some rest and take care of myself. I started watching, and I'm going to get into some guitar stuff. Look, you guys are going to be really proud of me. I actually have a clipboard and a notepad with some talking points written down here. There's some good guitar stuff we're going to get into. I'm going to answer your questions about the minor CAGED system, which doesn't exist, and we're just gonna get all this shit squared away. I'm gonna cover a bunch of stuff here, guys, so bear with me. I'm gonna go down this list, and I'm not gonna spend a lot of time, and I promise you I'm gonna get into some cool guitar stuff. I'm gonna talk a little bit about what I was doing just a second ago. You guys know I love Latin music and the rumba feel, which is, you've heard a lot of blues bands go into like a rumba, and then they'll throw a shuffle in the middle of that. They'll start shuffling and come back and forth. It's kind of cool. It's called a rumba blues, right? So you go, this is G to D7, right? And of course you can play that. And all your CAGED system spots, right? Okay, so getting the relationship between that sound. Sorry, there's going to be a lot of coughing on this one. That's just the major scale. All right. So we're going to get into some of that stuff. I want to share this with you. Billy Gibbons, who sends me packages almost every other day. Billy has just become such a great friend. I feel like he's a family member. I get these gifts from him all the time, and I talk to him on the phone all the time. We're getting our wardrobe together to go down to, I'm special guesting with him 3 nights in a row at the Blue Note in Hawaii. But he sent me this book, What Would Keith Richards Do? Unauthorized, Daily Affirmations from a Rock and Roll Survivor. That's going to be pretty fun to get into. I'm going to check some of that out on the airplane probably. I thought I'd try it last night. Me and my special lady friend, we started watching Territory, which is kind of like it's the Yellowstone version but it's set in Australia, and I really like some of those actors on there, and it's pretty damn good, I must say. So we started watching that. We were really getting thirsty, so we walked up to my crazy little gas station where there's people in there gambling and shit. This is a crazy neighborhood I live in, folks. It's like hipsters and criminals all living together. It's pretty awesome. I haven't figured out which one I am yet, but so this is called Liquid Death, and this is the Severed Lime sparkling water. And so I know you guys think I'm out of my mind, but this is a brand that a guy developed, and now he's turned it into a super, super successful company. This is water for people that want to look like they're drinking something cool. So when you're at the music festival, when you're at Coachella or Bonnaroo, and you're sober, and all your friends are getting wasted, and you want to look like you're drinking something that actually looks cool and not a bottle of water, you get this. It's called Liquid Death. So let's try the lime juice. Not too bad, but I just noticed, here's the bad part, 20 calories. Okay, that means there's too much bullshit in it. So that's already some points down. Waterloo, LaCroix, some of these other ones are 0 calories. If you look at Spindrift, if you like bubbled water, flavored water, Spindrift, there's different calories for the different flavors. And so this tastes pretty good. But too many calories, man. Too many calories. Okay, there's another little surprise that I have for you guys coming up, but I'm not going to tell you what that is yet. We're going to get into some of this stuff. Let's talk about this for just a little bit so I can get into some. I'm going to tell you about the new Benson amp that I just ordered. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some Taj Mahal stuff. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some Mark O'Connor and the new Nashville Cats. This is, if you want to really hear some chops, like real chops, guys that can really play without a lot of distortion, check out Mark O'Connor and the new Nashville Cats record that he did with all the session guys, Michael Rhodes, Brent Mason, everybody you want to hear, Matt Rawlings, all our favorite musicians. And man, they listen to that record from start to finish. That is a chops record. And there's some great musicality and stuff on there, of course. But so let's get into this real quick. So I had a bunch of people ask me, why is there no minor CAGED system? Well, it's because there is no minor CAGED system. There is no minor CAGED system. Can I repeat that a third time yet again? So here's your G bar chord. That's the E shape. There's G. If I want to make a minor, I'll raise up that I released that third. That's a G minor chord. That's a G minor triad. That's a G minor triad. That's a G major triad. That's a G minor triad. This is a G major triad. That's a G minor triad. It's the same note that's moving. This is a G minor triad. Major. That's minor. The same note's moving. I'm just going into these different shapes. That is the same note that's moved in 1, 2, 3 different triads. That's not a proper triad. This is out of the D shape. When you drop the third in the caged shapes. Let's see. It's all the same. It's all recurring, right? So that's why there's no minor cage system, because the minor and the major chords are in the same, they're out of the same shape. Now you guys are going to go, hey, relax and settle down, and it's not that big a deal. I know, but you guys clearly, some of you guys are not getting this. And that brings me to one of my other points on here. I've been teaching a lot, man. I've been doing a lot of clinics. I've been doing a lot of workshops. I've been doing a lot of private lessons, Zoom, and all this different shit we're doing with Brett Papa, all these courses, new TrueFire, new artist works, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm thinking about this stuff all the time, and I'm seeing a lot of you guys. And some of you are insistent on making this as complicated as humanly possible. Now, I don't know if there's some kind of psychology to that. Please shed some light on this. I only have a South Alabama public school system education that only took me about to the 7th and a half grades. So you're going to have to help me here. But I think that you guys might be making excuses for yourselves on not learning some of this stuff because you just keep making it more and more and more and more complicated. It's real simple. And if I could connect that wire, that USB cable from my brain to your brain, you would immediately see it and go, oh my God, I cannot believe that it's this simple. But it takes a minute to see it. And once it clicks, I'm telling you guys, it's going to be a rapid uptick in your guitar playing and your knowledge of this fingerboard. And I can't wait for that moment to happen for you guys. But there is no minor, there is no major caged. It's all the same shapes. You're getting into the triads, and you're using the triad rule that I'm talking about. When you drop the root down a half step, you get a major 7. When you drop the root down a whole step, you get a dominant 7. When you drop the third down a half step, you get a minor. And that works for every major triad, proper major triad, 1, 3, 5, in any key, any inversion, anywhere up the fingerboard. But what you have to realize is when you change that one note, the fingering changes. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do that because it's more comfortable, right? Okay, so there's that. By the way, this is the surprise. This is what I look like. I know some people have known me for 15 years and they've never seen me with my hat off. But I decided to get up this morning and I was feeling so disgusting and nasty and clammy and feverish because I don't feel good. And I get a little extra grumpy and fucking cranky when I don't feel good because we like to run at 125% all the time. So I got up and I was like, man, I don't feel good. I want to just shave my head and feel that bald ass head, man. So I got up and shaved that fucker this morning. And so that's what old GT looks like without his hat. Isn't the hat better? I feel better wearing a hat. I don't want to see that bald head. Luckily, my special lady friend has a magnificent mane of hair that is just amazing. So at least I'm dating somebody that has a great hair, right? Okay, so that's the little spiel about the minor and major cage system. Here's the other thing about the D shape. People have been asking me about the D shape. If I'm playing an E chord, the next inversion is the D shape, right? It's connected to the C shape, of course. These are all connected. Neck bone connected to the backbone connected to the hip bone connected to the leg bone connected to the knee bone. It's all that shit, right? So if I'm playing E, here's my D shape. Well, I'm not going to play it like this. I'm not worried about that high E string because this is useless. This is like trying to do a fucking yoga pose or something. And that was especially for my friend that doesn't like bad language. No extra charge for foul language. But here, this is like trying to do some kind of crazy yoga pose that I'm never going to do, right? This is very comfortable. Now, it's also proper because I can put my middle finger, I'm not going to isolate that because that is bad. That's rude if I was to isolate that middle finger, but it's that finger right there. So you're going to go D shape. Being sick is kind of like tripping, right? Is that right? Is that right? It's like some extra heat on your brain. It just kind of makes you, takes you out to the stratosphere. Anyway, so here's D, E chord, D shape. My middle finger, second finger, is going to play the major third on the low strings, on the bottom. We call that the bottom because it's the bass note, not the top of the fingerboard. The top is the top, the high notes, right? So this is your major third on the bottom. When I drop that down a half step, that gives me a minor chord, right? Just play around with it and have some fun. Okay, another thing, I was going to tell you about the Benson amp. I bought one of these Benson amps called the Monarch Reverb Plus, and I've been using one up the street at the Cabin Studio a bunch lately, and excuse me, so sorry. And so I got into the Benson amps, man. I tried it on a bunch of musical styles. They sound incredible, and I ordered one. One of the first new amps I've bought in a long time, but I think it's going to be a banger. That's something cool. Those guys are great. Jed Hughes did a video earlier today playing a really cool custom Jazzmaster. And I've been using a Jazzmaster a little bit on this record we did for Hugh Mitchell. And the Jazzmaster was just really cool. I think I'm going to get a Jazzmaster. But Jed was playing one of these custom ones from a guy in Southern California. And it really sounded good. Of course, Jed could make a frying pan with a rubber band on it sound great. But that's something to check out. Here's another thing I wanted to mention to you guys. Nashville just doesn't have any good breakfast spots. If somebody wants to invest in a proper New York style diner breakfast spot that has proper breakfast, proper lunch with a lot of options, like you can go in and just get a nice tuna melt with a pickle and some chips, right? Or you can get a chicken salad sandwich, or you can get a nice turkey sandwich, or you can get a nice burger. Or you can get some pancakes and some eggs, and it doesn't have to be all this hipster shit. I don't want to spend $16 on a smoothie or an acai bowl. Where do these vegetables and fruits come from all of a sudden? All of a sudden we've got all this stuff that I've never even heard of. What are acai berries? I don't know what this stuff is. They taste like slimy BBs is what it tastes like. Okay. The holidays are here. Halloween's right around the corner, and these kids, they start celebrating Halloween like a month before. And the kids, it's fine, but the full-grown adults celebrating Halloween, it's just a little too much. And the other thing, while I'm on a little rant about that, is Home Depot is playing Christmas carols 3 weeks ago. It's like, dude, we have got to, like, time is not flying fast enough. We've got to like rush these holidays. It just it dilutes the effect of the holiday and the special holiday. It's like, man, let's just have a nice Halloween and ease in, and then let's go get into November, and then let's ease into Thanksgiving and have a nice Thanksgiving, and then by God, let's ease into Christmas and just have a nice Christmas. But man, to celebrate these holidays out of order and it, I don't know why that bugs me, but it always has. Saw a cool Chevy Nova up the street in Hendersonville the other day. If anybody knows anything about Chevy Novas, I'm gonna have to call Uncle Larry and ask him about it though. But I'm getting the itch for a vintage car. I got my nice new Mercedes out there that I love, and I'm not bragging or complaining. But look, I'm 45 years old. I like to have a nice car. I like to listen to music in the car, and I like to have a nice car. So I don't go crazy or anything, but I like to have a nice car. And I'm thinking about adding a vintage car. I got one extra parking spot in my spot out front of my house that I need to add something to. So I think I'm looking at, I found this old Chevy Nova that's pretty badass. And I'm thinking about that. So if anybody has any thoughts on old Chevelles or old Chevy Novas, and maybe some of you guys will tell me just to save my money, like my business manager is going to tell me. Anyway, another thing, check out a song called Johnny Too Bad by Taj Mahal. And check out the Nashville Cats. You're going to hear the epitome of the least amount of chops used to create one of the baddest songs ever. Johnny Too Bad is such an amazing song by one of the great artists ever, Taj Mahal, who I listen to all the time. And then check out the new Nashville Cats by Mark O'Connor and hear what some real chops sound like. I mean, to me, it's some of the greatest shit in the world. Let's do a little lick for this rumba stuff. Okay, so if I go here, here's a couple licks to get into these. Going right down the G major scale. Watch that right hand. Super relaxed. Walk up the major scale. There's the lick out of the D shape. I wouldn't use that shape there though, because you don't get enough of the thirds and stuff. This is just too much roots and fives off of here. So if I do it here, or here, walk up, chromatic from the third, D7, put these little lines in there. That's just pentatonic. Right, that's D. That's going to be the next thing I think we get into is I'm gonna start showing you a couple little things like that, just how to really simplify this stuff. And the last thing here, folks, is I know this lesson's getting really long, but I had some extra time today, and I'm feeling kind of ornery today. I think is going to be the word, cranky and ornery. But look, these videos are not meant to be full lessons, and as many of you know, when people say check the links below, that means that they want you to buy something because that helps us make a living. And so the part of this thing that a lot of people I don't think are quite understanding here, when they're asking a lot of specific questions like, hey, can you do a video on this? Can you do a video on that? No, I'm not going to do that because I'm going to do the videos I want to do and just keep those coming stream of consciousness. If you want to do the deep dive into any of this stuff, which I am just scratching the surface on these YouTube videos, if you want to do the deep dive and tailor this to what you need specifically with your needs, don't forget, you cannot ask YouTube a question. I'm not going to answer any specific questions on YouTube about guitar education. Because if you want to do the deep dive, I've got a lot of courses and private lessons that are, painstakingly put together and thought about to really give you the path that's needed to do this stuff. And so if you really want to do that, you know where to find me, and those links are below. And so I'm actually cleaning up the links. I had a couple links from the new website that weren't populating properly. So make sure you check out this video and the next one for the links that actually work. I'm organizing it. Ashley's helping me get organized with the links. So everything looks nice and is organized, right? But but that's not how this works. So if you want to ask me something specifically, I'm just going to say, hey, I'm happy to book a lesson. But that's what we got to do. If you want to dive into something really specific and ask me a specific question, then we need to do a lesson and really dive in and get you on a program that's going to work for life. And so that's what it's about. Hey guys, I love y'all. I hope I feel better soon. Thanks for saying I hope you feel better soon. I'm just kidding. But anyway, guys, look, looking forward to a bunch of stuff to come. And that's it, man. I just wanted to share some of that fun stuff with you. I have, make some jokes, play a little guitar. Hopefully you got something out of that. And I explained a few things. I'll get into some more depth. I'm not saying that I'm holding back here, but I'm just saying that, the deep dive is with the private one-on-one stuff that we offer. So there's that. There's a bunch of fun stuff coming. We're not done yet, folks. We're just getting started, but I love y'all. I'll see you soon. ES 335 1969 Gibson, signed by the same guy that built Larry Carlton's guitar, going straight into with a nice Planet Waves Tour Series cable, no expensive cables, straight into a 1966 Princeton Reverb, volume on 2.5, treble on 4.5, bass on 3.5, reverb on 3. And that's it, folks. All right. See you later. Cheers.